Some new enhancements are being added to our Sunrise medication reconciliation process. Nurses must complete the patient's home medication list through the OMR and save it as complete. If not, the doctors will get a hard stop and be unable to start admission medication reconciliation. If a patient takes a medication that isn't found in the system, a pink pill for example, the nurse can still document it on the home medication list, but now the physician will be able to mark that medication as needing further review during admission med reconciliation. The mystery medication will then appear on the Orders tab under a new header called Home Medication Clarification. It will also appear on the nursing work list. Once the medication has been identified, the nurse can then complete the task and communicate the new medication information to the provider and receive instructions on continuing or holding the medication. An order for the actual medication can then be placed by or on behalf of the provider if appropriate. You will also notice a new addition on the patient list. A new reconciliation column will be used to communicate between nurse and provider on the next reconciliation process needing completion. For exact verbiage, you can refer to the quick reference guide that has been completed, but the list will include medication review incomplete. This is triggered by a visit admission, and it signifies that the home medication entry in the OMR has not been saved as complete. Therefore, admission reconciliation cannot be started. Another option would be medication review complete. This will signify that the home medication entry has been saved as complete and admission med rec can be started. It will also signify that the admission reconciliation was started but not saved as complete. Another choice will be transfer reconciliation complete. This is triggered by the submission of a transfer order, and it notifies the nurse and physician that transfer reconciliation needs to be completed. Another option is discharge reconciliation update pending. This is triggered by the submission of a discharge order or the entry of a new home or inpatient home medication, and it communicates to the nurse and physician that the discharge rec needs to be completed or updated. Lastly, you may see discharge reconciliation complete. This is triggered by discharge reconciliation completed to notify the nurse that the discharge process can be started for the patient. Lastly, if you see a clear column, this signifies that all medication reconciliation has been completed for this patient for this stage in their visit. Another new process that will be for the nurses to complete is a custom discharge medication report. After discharge med rec has been completed and the EMR documentation is complete, a discharge medication summary note can be launched from either the Enter Document button or through the Discharge tab. In this view, the column width can be adjusted by hovering over the column, clicking when you receive the arrow, and dragging back and forth to update the size of the column. The information you'll see in each column begins with status. The status column states whether this is a new home medication, a changed home medication for the patient. It also states whether a prescription was printed or e-prescribed. If it has been e-prescribed, it will contain the pharmacy name. This column, when saved and printed, will be merged into the comments column. The status column cannot be edited. The medication column contains information pulled directly from the completed discharge order reconciliation and cannot be edited. The reason for taking column is populated when the nurse documents the reason for taking this medication in the internal memo section in the OMR. This field can be edited as needed. Doses taken today populates from medication documented through the EMR. The clinician completing the home medication review will need to complete the blank fields for each medication. The next dose information is available when medication has been documented through the EMR, and it will translate the terminology into terminology understandable by the patient. For instance, if the medication was given this morning and the next dose will be due this evening, instead of having a time or a BID documentation, it will state that the next dose is due today in the evening. The comments column will populate comments supplied by Multum, or the nurse entering the home medication, or the physician entering the prescription. The nurse completing the home medication summary may add comments as needed for each medication. When this documentation is complete, you will come down and click Save and Close. Closing this application will direct the user back to the Discharge Medication Summary Structured Note, and all the information entered in the application will populate in the note. The status column will no longer be a separate column, but the data will have been added to the comments column. In addition to the information from the home medication review, a Stop Taking the Following Medication section that is pulled from Discharge Reconciliation will appear at the bottom. In addition, there will be some standard patient instructions that will automatically populate with each note. At the bottom will be the options to save or save and print this document. Once it has been saved, if this document needs to be modified, you would go to the Documents tab and either right-click or double-click to open and modify this document. And it can be modified and opened from there. If the discharge medication reconciliation has been completed and then a new order is entered, when the discharge medication summary note is opened, you will receive a message that states, "No new home medication summary information is available due to incomplete or missing discharge reconciliation." At that point, discharge reconciliation would need to be saved as complete again, and this document would be available. One final update for nursing will be a new report that's available for the nursing manager, and it will document incomplete home medications. The new report will be available on the Reports tab under Quality. The first section of that report captures a summary of the number of home medications entered, the number of incomplete home meds, and the percentage of incomplete home meds within the specified date range. This is broken down by user with totals. Section 2 captures a detailed report of the home medications with patient and unit details. Section 3 captures the home medications that have had the instructions box edited. This will show the complete directions as captured by the system. For any questions regarding the new changes, please contact your clinical informaticist.